Yeah. So now Sue doing this thing. He independent. Everybody producing.
Mm-hmm.
P-Lo, I didn't know he was a rapper.
Yeah.
At first, did anybody know he was a rapper?
He a rapper, like he's on Swaggin'. They put him on Swaggin'. Remember when they did the second version?
On Swaggin'.
Yeah, you right. Damn.
And he was on the early Sue songs, like on the early mixtape. Watch the videos. He's rapping with Sue on a whole bunch of shit.
Well, you managing them already when they did. So what song was that they did the video on Hilltop Mall?
Yeah, that's Swaggin'.
That's Swaggin'.
Yeah.
That is Swaggin'.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody had to hook up to some store y'all opened up late
Cool
night. Hey, Cool John. Shout out to Cool John, man. So now this was also a rumor I wanted to know. Somebody said that somehow Sue came to 2 Chainz' aid after the robbery in Frisco, or came to console him after the attempted robbery, or you remember that at the dispensary?
Yeah, I remember that, but
I'm just telling you, this was your artist at the time. Yeah. This was a rumor in the streets of, this is how crazy the game is, right? Of how the feature came about.
No, you know how the feature came about? 2 Chainz thought Sue was a star. This is where 2 Chainz taught me something. He said, in talking about Sue, he said, you know, I can tell somebody's a star. He's like, I watch their videos on mute.
If I can watch their videos on mute?
So if I can feel and get the energy without hearing the music, that's how I know they're a star. He loved Sue. He loved Sue. He tried to sign Sue. He just loved Sue and respected everything he did. It was just as simple as that.
So does
you forget Sue's on his album.
Sue's on his album.
Yeah, Sue's on his album.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. Damn, that's dope as fuck.
So why he didn't ever sign with nobody? I know you guys shopped around, but he didn't find a deal he liked, or
I think it started from just like, you know, concerns, and then he got to a point where like, I'd rather do it myself, because you know he's always, that's how we stopped working together, because he wanted, and I think did a good job of just wanting to be in more control of everything that he does, which is what he did. You know what I mean?
You wanted more.
And like a lot of,
no, it's not that I wanted more. It's just that it's not about that. It's like if I meet you and you're 19 years old, right? You get to 25 or whatever, you know, 20, whatever. You like, okay, now I need to be a man. I don't need, even if no matter what the results are, you got to respect somebody wanting to do their own shit, run their own company. You know what I'm saying? It became less about HBK and all of that, and more about like, I got to get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? And he's done a great job at that.
So when you manage, and do you like, I'm gonna manage you for this 1 year or this one? Like, how do you cut ties with it?
Until like I wouldn't do contracts with anybody until I had to. Meaning that like, okay, now you have a business manager and they need something legal to say you're gonna pay me. Because from my perspective is like, nigga, if you don't want to fuck with me, you don't want to fuck with me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't, like, you can fire a manager at any time. So it really doesn't matter. Right. There's just loopholes that you might collect money at a certain amount of time, but I just look at it as like, nigga, we niggas. You know what I'm saying? If I have to ask you to pay me, there's already a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem. Definitely.
It's not like I'm a manager for this amount of time. It's like we working. You know what I'm saying? If it's working, we're gonna keep working.
Yeah.
At some point, it might not work. At some, you know what I'm saying? Things happen.
Yeah, definitely. I believe that. I got that same philosophy. Like, shit, nigga, we got if I gotta ask for my money, nigga, something ain't right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So with Sue, and I also know with Sue, I think he's managed by his mom now, right? And who I'm sure his mom know him better than anybody, because I know that he's an eccentric person, right? So how is that? But not just particularly him, but just managing artists, because sometimes artists need more, sometimes they need very little, very minimal. You know what I'm saying? Because I almost see how you manage damn near Killer Mike almost look like remotely.
Well, that's mostly Will. Like I don't like my partner Will does Killer Mike.
Oh, he does Killer Mike. I thought you do Killer Mike.
No.
Okay.
Will does.
But even with Golden, I remember I was in your office and you was telling me like, well, yeah, I go out and I get these guys going and knowing what they need to be doing, and then they can kind of like, you know what I mean, can do it on their own. But like, to me, that's a good philosophy, because some people like, I look at a group of artists like a caseload, and some managers can't handle it. Like,
but it's not only that. It's like when you manage people, you want them to be like, why does it, if somebody needs me to do everything, or they're dependent on me, that some artists are like that. Others, when they want to do their own shit. And the best thing to do is you can say, like, the reason why I can say I've worked with so many people is because, like, you try to put people in a position to do their own thing. Jay Stalin is a prime example. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember working with Jay Stalin from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? I talk to this nigga all the time. Love the nigga, the crazy ass nigga. But he's gotten to the point where he shouldn't have somebody doing something for him.
Right.
He has his program down the way he does musically, but then he has, you know what I'm saying, barbershops, he has clothing stores, he has all of that. So when you start moving into that's not for me to, you know what I'm saying? Like I shouldn't be getting into that with you. I didn't start this store with you. I didn't start this barbershop with you. I didn't put up the money to cut a loss. I just didn't do that. So, but I always try to teach and educate people, because I really feel the more me's you have, the bigger everything comes, because there might be a point in my life where I'm gonna need you. But if you don't have the information, because I kept it for myself, what the fuck that gonna help me with?
Since you right there, I also am a strong believer of why so many people deal with like Rock Nation, right? Because they will, I don't know if, and I can't speak for them, but I'm saying they will try to manage your everyday affairs. So
but that's if you need that, and there's people who I have done that with, and who I do that with.
Well, I even think
other people.
Is that a different pay rate?
No,
you have to do more for this person.
It's not really that, but I just think that some people are more entrepreneurial minded. Like Golden, you know what I'm saying, got a full ride at USC for, you know what I'm saying, for business.
Smart.
At Marshall School of Business.
Right.
So he's about his business. So it's my job to help him build out his business, because he's going to be a better businessman than me.
Right.
And I could probably learn something from him. It wouldn't make sense for me to hold his hand through everything.
Right.
Because, like, you can't do everything yourself, and the more that you teach people, the more they can teach others, and now you have a whole collective. I honestly think that's been the problem with the Bay Area, is there hasn't been enough, and I haven't done a good enough job of mentoring the next managers, the next, you know what I'm saying, the stretches. There hasn't been that, and we need that.
And that's what I was about to hit on, because like even when the artists can pretty much manage their affairs, I think that some company like Rock Nation has the ability to do it at whatever level. Say for instance, when Jim Jones had a problem with Jay-Z for years, but to bring him over there to do his business, because Jim Jones had Vamp Life for years. We know it was a cool quality brand. He had so many things in Dipset and so much legacy, so many hits, to manage those things and to micromanage, really, to put like, let's just say, I'm saying like, some artists don't have access to a Karen Civil or motherfuckers throwing a listening party in a Louis Vuitton store, or you know what I'm saying, but coming with a certain group of people and a certain representation means that, like, you know what I mean, like when Rock Nation shows up, you like, okay, it's like the negotiations kind of like don't even have to happen at this. We don't really gotta. These people take care of business, you know what I'm saying, because they can't have these stains on their name, and most people part ways amicably. They don't. I've never heard too many gripes about, like, you know, motherfuckers just move on. But I believe that's what we need here. You know what I'm saying? West Coast in general. You know what I'm saying? We need that, because it's not like, and I believe also people from here don't do the extras. Like, I mean, when you from Atlanta, the extras happen. When you from New York, the extras happen. Like, they put on for motherfuckers.
I think it's really simple on why Atlanta and New York and all these places have these things. So the industry traditionally was in New York. So you're gonna have more relationships and things to do that. People forget is like a lot of these black people went to school in Atlanta. So those relationships are, you know what I'm saying, are made there. You know what I'm saying? Like, people go to LA and relationships, because all the stuff there in the Bay Area, there's not really an infrastructure for that. That's why, like, you don't see like an infrastructure in Chicago. They have a lot of great artists, but you know what I'm saying? It's not like there's like a school in Chicago where all these people go for business to do music. You know what I'm saying? They usually have to do other things. So I think we put too much on location, but that's because we did have an industry there when you had, you know what I'm saying, the seminars and all the stuff that people used to go to back in the day, where there was a business for the Bay Area, when independent distribution was based out of here. Now independent distribution is based out of here through Empire, but it's still digital. You know what I'm saying? It's not physical. You're going to a plant. It's all of that. So it's just a different perspective, and I think that as the world gets bigger with the internet, we forget that it's still a small industry of, you know what I'm saying, so many people, and it's not necessarily like, oh, they're blackballing. Like, no, you're just not in the room having those conversations.
You're not in the right room, right.
Yeah, like, so if you don't have those conversations, then how can you even have that perspective?
Yeah.
Like I said, I learned that from the Thizz days. We really thought that Dre was being blackballed and it was not giving him records. You know what? You know how we figured that out? We finally, Chuck, Frisco Chuck.
Frisco Chuck. Shout out Frisco Chuck.
He's the first one to help records get played, and it was as simple as this. You niggas never gave them the records. You never gave them no cleans. You never gave them no acapellas, because our asses thought niggas hot, grab it, nigga.
Nigga, we hot. Yeah, that's this mentality around here. That's the whole. It's still like that. Yeah, so y'all niggas ain't fucking with us.
Yeah, we learned from Chuck.
Yeah,
because of his relationship with the radio and all of that.
Yeah.
But it takes that to learn. But if we didn't, it would have been the same. It would have been the same thing for who knows how long.
Right.
Thinking and blaming somebody else for shit that we just didn't do.
Right.
The one thing I learned when I went to LA is because when we was doing this shit for all those years, it was really a us against them mentality. Mm-hmm. Not just the industry, but even people in the Bay Area. It's like, if you ain't with us, then it's them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was like, we looked at who we fucked with. You know what I'm saying? Thizz fucked with Keek, you know what I'm saying? Fucked with Mob Figures, fucked with, you know what I'm saying? Done Deal. Like, we fucked, everything else was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Standoffish.
Right.
And that was based off of what? Just because of how we did things. Now, when I go to LA and I start, the Kreayshawn thing is what opened it all up, because you get in different rooms because you have a commodity that people want on a national scale. She was never looked at as a Bay Area artist because she was, you know what I'm saying, the first white woman that they're like, oh shit, we want to fuck with this. And also, she was the first person to have a song go viral on YouTube to lead to a major deal.
Right.
So she had changed the game in those ways. So now I'm having different conversations. And the thing that always came back was like, man, we love the music in the Bay Area, but people just don't have their business together.